Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna share 10 more of the healthy habits that completely changed my life. I've been loving doing this series, and when I did my first one, the 12 healthy habits, I said there was like hundreds, and I tried to narrow it down, but then I was like, I can't just keep it at 12. So this is part 3 of this series, and there are some in here that are such crazy game changers, and it's stuff that you wouldn't think about, and you're like, oh my gosh, Katie, you're a genius. You're welcome, because they're seriously gonna change your life. So if you're pumped for this video, sweat the thumbs up, give it a little click, and make sure you comment down below. Number 1, I have been doing this for probably 2-ish years now, and I started when it was like very trendy, and I was like, I don't know, but I truly have seen a huge difference in my skin, in my digestion, and that is drinking celery juice every morning. So I know that there's like a lot of mixed ideas about it, but let me tell you guys, like my skin has never been more clear consistently. I have never been more regular consistently as I have since I started doing this. So when I first started, I was drinking celery juice and I was making it fresh every morning, and I have a great juicer, but that's like really annoying and it gets old fast. So I have found celery juice that is great. It's a good price. I still make it sometimes when I have more time, but honestly, often I will just buy it and drink it. Just make sure it is 100% pure, but it really has so many great vitamins, antioxidants. It is really, really great for your digestion, helping with your bloodstream, like everything. So if you haven't tried this yet, give it a week or 2 and come back and tell me how you feel, because I know you're gonna feel better. Number 2 is creating a monthly playlist, like curated for your life or the life that you want. And what I mean is, like, I started making these playlists for my workouts and my fitness classes, but then I started making ones for myself that really were like either a reflection of how I wanted to feel that month or like how I was feeling. And especially if you make it for like the life or the mood that you want to have that playlist. It is going to be your jam. Now, the second part to a really good playlist is making sure that you actually are listening to it. So like I will pump up the jams all over the house, but I'm on my computer, we're working from home. I need like solid headphones so that I don't disrupt Ryan while I am living my best life. So I love that I partnered with Jaybird to show you guys the Jaybird Vista. They're the only sport-focused true wireless headphones, and these things are awesome. I've talked about it before, you guys. I have really tiny ears, like they're really tiny, and it is super hard to find earbuds that stay in when I'm moving around, when I'm dancing, when I'm working out. Just like, it's very challenging. These are so awesome. The Vista is, look how little it is. It's so compact. It's amazing. It has a really, really nice cushion as well. So it fits and like kind of locks into your ear comfortably so that it will not go anywhere. It also has 16-hour listening. So if you have them charged, they charge in this little case. You can actually listen for 16 hours straight. And that is awesome for me because I'm the worst at remembering to charge things. Ryan always teases me that everything is dead. So the Vista is great because you get that 16-hour time, which is absolutely amazing. It is such premium sound. Like if you want to feel like you're just like enveloped in your playlist, like get that mood pumping, these are phenomenal. They're also like sweat proof, they're waterproof. So when I'm working out, you guys know I sweat like crazy. And the Vista really helps because it doesn't get that crackly sound that will happen with a lot of other ones out there once they get sweat, because these are sweat proof, they're waterproof. They also have military grade crush proofness. So like if you drop them, like they're gonna be okay. There's just a really, really high quality, amazing wireless headphone, or I guess it's earbud, that is just everything you need really, and are voice enabled. Again, I love that it actually fits my ear. I love that they're comfortable. I love that I can go from my workout to sitting at my desk and be able to continue to like keep my vibe and my energy going without disrupting Ryan around the house. It just is like the best part of my routine. So I'll put a link down below for you guys to check them out. Make sure you do if you've been looking for new ones. Like this Jaybird Vista is it. But make that playlist, get these, and the rest of your year is gonna be so freaking phenomenal. Number 3 is to write down one good thing from your day before you go to bed. To be honest, I'm not super consistent at doing this, but when I do, I notice a huge difference, and it's been such a goal of mine for 2021 to be consistent at doing this. So whether that's on my phone in my notes or actually writing it down in my Daydreamer journal or my goals planner, I really, really am trying to focus on all the good, because obviously we've been in this life situation, not really going anywhere, not really doing much, days all kind of feel similar, and it can be kind of taxing. And so for me, having that focus on the good things, even the small little things that happen throughout a day, really just like fills you with gratitude. It makes you more appreciative of all the little things, and it keeps that positive attitude going. And you know, if you are mentally staying focused on the positive, it'll just kind of exude out of you, and you will generally be more happy. Like, you just have to focus on those things. So that has been a huge one for me. And again, this year, really trying to take the time to write it down. It also helps like you have fun little memories from every single day, because those good things that happen, even the small ones, you can look back on a year from now and be like, oh yeah, that was so nice. I love doing that. Number 4, healthy habit that changed my life, truly, wearing sunscreen every day. Ryan always thinks I'm weird because I'll put sunscreen on my face and my chest and my shoulders and everything, even if I don't have plans to leave the house, but I'm sitting by windows. I pop outside for lunch sometimes. You need to have sunscreen on your body. I know that my family is prone to skin cancer, and I just don't want any part of that. Like, that is so scary. Like, no thank you. No, 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 no. So I'm constantly putting sunscreen on to protect my body, and you should too. Even if you're just driving in the car, you need to have it on. Of course, I put it on when I'm laying out outside, but I always used to just think it was only if I was gonna be like dedicated to trying to get a tan. It's not. You need it always. I also have sunscreen in my foundation, and that really is important, to have as many layers of protection as you can have from the sun and the harmful rays, because it's not gonna do anything necessarily right now. Maybe you'll get like a little sunburn if you don't. But over time, wrinkles, not to mention all of the horrible, like potentially bad cancers and things that can come from not protecting your skin now. So lather up that precious skin. Number 5, have a plan, but be flexible. For me, whether it's setting goals for my career, for business, for the week, like chores and errands I have to do around the house, whatever, I always like to have a plan, because one, it helps me be more likely to actually accomplish it. If you don't even like plan out how you think you're gonna get there, it's never gonna happen. And that goes for doing laundry too, you guys, not just like the big dreams. So having that goal, but also understanding that life happens, things change, our ambitions, our goals, and then just like unexpected stuff happens. So you have to be flexible. You have to be willing to like divert, pivot, and change, like flip the script a little bit. Maybe you like have to completely shift. You have to have that flexibility and be able to go with the flow on that. But having the plan is what is going to help set you up for success. And for me, when I started my fitness journey, losing 45 pounds, I think this is like the best example, because it's so simple and easy to understand, is like, I didn't want to have the way that I had done plans before, which were, I'm going to work out every single day for an hour, like for the next month, and crush it, and I want to lose 20 pounds and just like crazy town, right? Like, no. You have to have realistic plans, realistic goals that are attainable so that you can hit them, which gives you more motivation to keep going and building. So for me, it was like, my plan was, I'm going to move my body for 10 minutes a day. That's my plan. And if more comes, great. But I know that I'm at least gonna do that. And pretty much every single day, I could find 10 minutes in my day to work out. Now, of course, things happen. I gotta pivot. Maybe one day I missed, and I'm not gonna just like throw my whole plan out the window because of that. And then some days I'm like, well, I'm already moving, so maybe I'll do 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So I'm still being flexible in that plan, but having a set plan to go after to help me start to reach my goals. Number 6 is a big one. Big. Like, this has completely changed my life, especially this year. It's something that I've struggled with for a very long time. But when you can put a focus on this, and when you can start to do this, you are gonna feel so much better. And that is setting boundaries. Boundaries for yourself. Some people are great at this and it comes naturally. I'm not one of them. I mostly am speaking with like relationships, so friendships, but even family relationships, romantic relationships. You have to have boundaries. You have to know what is good for you, and people are either going to match you and you guys will work together and like ebb and flow and find like your balance, or they're not, and then you have to be okay saying goodbye. I think that I have a tendency to just like open arms. I talked about this on Instagram the other day, but like open arms, just bring everyone in. I want to just like welcome and love and take care of people and like just help people. Like that is in my nature. But what I found over the years is that means I have a lot of relationships and friendships where people take advantage of that. And I start realizing like it's very one-sided and it's all me. That was my relationship in high school. That's a lot of friendships that I've had. And I really have had to start to realize like, wow, like every time it's me. I'm the one calling, I'm the one planning, I'm the one inviting, I'm the one texting, checking in. This is not fair. There's always gonna be times where people need more. So maybe you give a little bit more during a period of time, then they give a little bit more, and then you find that ebb and flow. But if it's always you really need to look and evaluate that relationship and realize that you probably have not set clear boundaries. You have not set expectations for what you need in the relationship as well, because it's okay to be a little selfish. And I think with that, creating boundaries also comes being okay with letting go when you realize that people aren't, they're not like, not accepting your boundaries, but like they're not like honoring or respecting those boundaries. And I think that's like the boundaries and then like that mutual like love and respect for each other where you find what works. So this year has been like a very big learning when it comes to friendships and realizing I'm not going to say yes every time anymore. I'm not going to bend over backwards when you can barely like bother to send a text and say hi. So that's just been a huge, huge lesson for me. And I know a lot of us women can relate. So hopefully that one is one for you to think about and start to look at those relationships and think about like, how are they showing up? How am I showing up? And am I giving too much of myself for not a lot in return? And if you realize that's the case, then maybe starting to like draw a line in the sand and they'll either figure it out or you can have a conversation about it and they'll match you, or just like, they're not your people. Bye. Number 7 sounds super woo-woo, but it really does help. So I'm like a Pisces, like a water person. I'm very like, I feel very connected to the earth. And grounding is something when I first heard about, I was like, what? That sounds so weird. But it truly is kind of just in my nature. It's also stuff I've done throughout my life, like not intentionally, not saying like I'm grounding. That really has been calming for me. It really helps me feel better and more like reconnected to myself. So essentially what it is like literally like going barefoot outside and touching the ground. So walking on sand, walking on rocks, getting in the grass, like really like connecting with earth. And that's why I feel like it sounds so woo-woo for me especially. But it does help kind of just give you that calmness. Especially if you do it like listening to music or just like in a really, really quiet space. But I like to do this, and it's funny because when I first started doing it intentionally, being like, okay, I'm gonna go outside and do this morning, like with my coffee, I realized like, oh, like every time I go to the beach, the first thing I wanna do is rip my shoes off and like get in the sand. There's something about that. So if you haven't done it intentionally yet, maybe you're like me and you're like, oh, I actually always wanna be like with my feet on the ground and like in the environment. But you haven't like put that intention into it, try it intentionally. And then come back and comment and let me know how you're feeling. Because I do think you'll feel more calm, more centered, and just like a little bit more at peace with everything that's going on around you. My foot's falling asleep. Number 8 of these amazing habits that will change your life is finding a way to practice self-care every single day. That does not mean you have to like do a full face mask, do a whole like full body massage, like an hour-long pampering session. It doesn't. I mean, if you have time and you can do that, good for you, enjoy it. But for me, it's been really, really putting a focus on like one time a day doing something for myself that makes me feel better. So sometimes that is as little as slowing down when I'm putting on my lotion and kind of like massaging my arms a little bit and just having that like more tender touch and like with my body. Sometimes it's a face mask. Sometimes it's doing laundry. And I bring this up again because I actually hate doing laundry. However, I do feel like it's kind of calming, and what I hate more than doing laundry is clutter and things piled around. So I know that if I take that time to like fold it, and I always like make a vibe, I'll turn on music, I'll like light candles, I'll do a whole thing. But when I do that, I feel more calm. So that's like an act of self-care as well, because I know doing that will help me feel more calm and I need that because there's a lot of stress in my life right now. So finding little things throughout your day, either multiple times a day or even just once a day, even if it's right before bed, just something you can do to show yourself a little extra love, a little extra care will really help you stay calm, be a little more happy. Again, like that with what I talked about earlier with like one good thing that happened from your day, writing that down. Those are those little things, those little habits that on their own might not seem like, oh my gosh, like that's like gonna change everything. But it does. When you consistently do those things, it truly changes who you are on the inside and how you think about yourself, how you care for yourself, and how you show up for other people too. Number 9, this one is hard for a lot of people. I always thought like I was someone who got over stuff really easily, but I realized that it's not so much to get over stuff. I just kind of like used to like shove it away. So number 9 is learning to forgive people more so that you can truly move on. I think anytime someone would hurt me or there'd be like a situation that made me upset, I would just be like, oh, whatever, I'm over it, and push it away and not deal with those emotions. And I would still be so angry at that person, like internally. And I think that the biggest change for me came when I started realizing that by holding on to that, by not actually like addressing it and forgiving them, I was doing more damage to myself. I was stressing. It was like eating me up inside little by little. So taking time to forgive more people, that does not mean you have to be best friends with that person. Let's go back to letting go, setting boundaries, right? It doesn't mean everything's like okay, or you even have to remain friends or friendly with those people. But I think like forgiving them, and not only internally forgiving them, but like verbally letting them know you forgive them, is so freeing. It allows you just to be like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm letting go. Like I realize that you did this thing that hurt me, but everyone makes mistakes. Everyone screws up. That's okay. We're moving on. And again, maybe you move in your own directions, not together anymore, or maybe you work through it. But at the end of the day, forgiving more people more often, more easily is going to help lighten your load and allow you to feel healthier, more balanced, and just happier. So just say, I forgive you. You forgive them. And truly do. You gotta like actually believe it. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's just gonna be the same thing. Okay, I feel like these 9 have been like a little bit deeper. Number 10 is really, really such a like basic one, but oh my gosh, it changes everything. So even though I've been working from home for the last year, basically, I pick out my outfits the night before every night. Like I know what outfit I'm going to put on the next morning to sit at my desk or at the table in my kitchen. And for me, it's easy, obviously, because I'm wearing athletic wear pretty much every day. I just put on my like leggings or my shorts and a top, whatever. So it's not like I'm planning like a whole like look. It's just not me. But I still pick it out. I put it in my room where I get ready in the morning, and I just have it there. And it just is one less thing to think about. And it also helps me be more organized. It helps make sure that I'm like going through my stuff and cleaning out things regularly as well. So that has been a huge habit that has changed so much for me and just allowed me to be more in that routine. And also to make sure I do put on clothes and I don't sit in my sweats all day, which has been a huge temptation this year to just literally only ever be in sweats. It's really hard to put even on athleisure when you don't have to. So picking out your clothes the night before saves time if you are going to work or out and about. Like if you actually have to be somewhere, it's a huge time saver because you don't have to think about it. Spend a few minutes the night before, think about it, and you're good to go in the morning. All right, you guys, so that was 10 more of the healthy habits that changed my life, truly. Game changers. I cannot wait for you to start doing some of these. So comment down below, tell me which one or ones you're gonna do. Make sure you check out the Jaybird Vistas. I'm gonna put the link down below for you guys. They are so freaking phenomenal. And again, this was part 3 of this series. So if you haven't seen the other 10 healthy habits or the 12 healthy habits, make sure you guys go watch those as well. You don't wanna miss any of these healthy habits. And girlfriend, if you are not subscribed to my channel yet, what are you doing? Hit that button right there, click it. Sweat the thumbs up, give it a little click, and I will see you guys next week for another awesome video. Bye.